Alright, guys. So, if you have any hopes and dreams of attracting women, you will run into tests. This is a very natural thing. So, all women test men as a protective mechanism. Women have filter mechanisms, and men have approach mechanisms. Women must be able to filter the bad eggs so she can mate with her best option. So, essentially, women will always throw tests at you. It may not be too often, but when they realize that they are starting to develop attraction for you, then that's when she will generally throw a test at you. So it's her way of pretty much just being able to have the quality men and relationships in her life, because throughout a woman's life, she's probably been through several bad relationships. And her test mechanism actually protects her from getting into another relationship that's not good for her. Tests can be delivered in the form of a challenge, call out for something random, acting uninterested, asking for a favor, or anything that doesn't particularly flow with the conversation. So, honestly, she can test you on anything, but the key to understanding what a test is that it does not fit in with the whole conversation material. So, if a woman is talking to you and then suddenly she just flips faces and says something along the lines of anything negative or just random that kind of gets you by shock, your job as a man is to hold your composure ultimately. To pass the test, you must be non reactive and non needy. Then she will believe that she can trust you. Tests never go away, but they dramatically decrease after you get her in bed or date her. That is very true, guys. You will never get away from tests. Just learn how to pass them. It is actually very simple once you understand what a test actually is in itself. So we will go a little bit more in depth on testing because there's two types of tests. Congruence tests. Ultimately, women use these tests to see if you actually believe you are attractive. They come in the form of rude comments towards you or even a slick comment about something you do. She is ultimately seeking a reaction. But if you react with any type of emotion other than humor, you run the risk of failing these. And basically, for a congruence test, you kind of just have to be incongruent with who you actually are. So if she says something mean to you about your hair or whatever, you have to be confident enough in yourself that what she says does not actually affect you. And if you kind of develop that type of mindset, then you will actually pass every single one of these tests. It's a very simple method of passing them, but the key to passing them is to recognize them, ultimately. The second type of test is a compliance test. These tests are when she asks you to complete a task or challenge that you really don't need to do. She may ask you to go get her something from across the room, to watch her stuff, or any variation of compliance. If you comply to her request, then you can run the risk of failing this test. Okay, this test is a little bit more tricky, but it's also not very hard to pass. Okay. One way of actually passing this test is you can trade compliance. So, if it's your girlfriend, you can say, "Sure, I'll grab your bag across the room, but you owe me a blowjob." If it's some girl that you just met, you can say, "Sure, I'll watch your stuff, but if I watch your stuff, then you have to buy me a drink." So any type of trading compliance would actually pass these tests. But there's an instance in which it might not actually be a test, and that's rare. But the instance is, let's say something bad happened and she asks you to watch her stuff because it's an emergency. Then in that case, she might not actually be testing you. It might just genuinely be that she needs you to watch her stuff. So just understand this and kill it out there, guys. Later.